Hey, babe. Hello, all, and welcome to the Affluent Marriage Podcast. You're listening to one financial coach and one educator talk about living a rich and full marriage through generational wealth building principles, authentic two-way communication, and everything in between to become a couple that lives in love and walks in wealth. Your legacy begins here.
Did you do that all from memory?
I did.
Like I was like trying to scroll up for you to
For
make
the
sure
most
you
part.
had the words.
No, I have it. I have
I'm
it.
proud of
Do you know that in I think it was like episode 19, I want to say, when I did the introduction, I left out your legacy begins here because you had me cracking up the whole time.
I was making up my own.
I noticed that while I was editing. I was like, oh man.
I totally forgot
I didn't
part of
say
it.
Yeah.
I was so magnetizing.
You were just doing all the hand motions.
I was doing some human video.
I was a little bummed that you actually didn't start off this episode
I'm
with
sorry.
that, you know?
Oh, I'll do that every single time from here on out.
Yeah, just a little something,
Just a little something for you to look
Hey
at.
guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're at. It is good to see you. And specifically, we're talking to who, Kim?
Oh, Graham fam. Listen, can I just say, Daniel and I have been talking about the episodes and we recognize that this is the beginning of the Millionaire Blueprint.
Welcome to the Millionaire Blueprint.
The Millionaire Blueprint. Way to go. So Graham fam, you are in for a treat. If you are here, it is because you are ready to get a deep dive behind the scenes of what Kim and Dan do. And from all the stuff that we've read, from all of our expertise that we've absorbed through our experience, we're giving to you exactly as we do it. And this is an opportunity for you to interact with us. If you're in Graham Fam and you're here and you're like, wait, I have a question on these specific things or whatever, or here's my situation, give me your, best advice on it. This is a chance for you guys to be able to, email in your questions or to
absolutely
or to interact with us on social at the Affluent Marriage Pod on Instagram or on TikTok. And we want to be able to hear your questions and answer them, especially if you're in Graham Fam. So this is amazing as we were writing down content.
Absolutely.
And we recognize this is going to be
the truth is
fun.
The reason why we're having this series and doing this is because of you.
Yeah.
For Graham Fam, right? These are literally questions that we get asked all of the time. And we don't want to leave any stone unturned. We just want to bear all, reveal all, tell you everything that we know to
all
help
the mistakes we've made.
All the mistakes, absolutely. We're keeping it real here. But yeah, we're going to talk about everything from, the basics of how to create that budget with your partner, to best budgeting apps, to how much an average expense should be. I mean, we're going to talk about it all.
I ask these questions often, and these are questions that we commonly see people get stuck with, and they get tripped up and they don't know how to do it for themselves. And we're basically telling you exactly how to do it. So if you're here and you're on Graham Fam and you're, watching or listening to the first episode of the Millionaire Blueprint, please let us know. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Get on social. Let us know that you're listening in and let us know your takeaways because we love to be able to hear it.
Absolutely. And tell people about it. Tell them that you're listening to something that is breaking down for you step by step how to be a millionaire.
And the funny thing is you're going to laugh a lot and you're also going to learn something because we really are funny. I've heard a lot of people already who are like, I cannot stop laughing at you and your husband. So get ready to laugh while you're also learning about how to build wealth.
Absolutely. Are you ready?
I think so.
You think so? Listen, I'm excited because tomorrow, I know that this is going to drop a few weeks from now and it'll all be done, but tomorrow is demo day. It's Reno day.
Yeah, we're doing some demo. We're getting our bathrooms done. Our bathroom, just one. And to tell you I'm scared is an understatement. Scared, not like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
I think it's endearing. I don't have those same reservations. I'm excited. We're trying to be
excited too. Yeah.
Landlords and have midterm rentals going on here. Get those traveling nurses in and give them a place to stay. And, their companies can pay us. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
And but you have these reservations. What's that about?
It's not even a reservation. I said it last episode that this is just it's the domino effect, right? And when you're on the precipice of something that you've literally wanted, prayed for, asked for, dreamt about for the past, I don't know how many years, and you're right there, it feels like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Oh my gosh, it's happening. It's like you're going down a roller coaster, So as fun and exciting as it is to be able to go into this next phase of this thing that we've dreamed about, it's also scary, but that's a part of the journey. And I'm so excited to do it with you. And I'm so excited we get to document it, right?
That's the
This
best
is
part.
historical document
That is
that we
the
get to
best
talk about it in real time, how we're building a stream of income from scratch. We've never done this before. We have not read a lot of stuff about it. But
it has been a dream for the last 7 years.
It has been a dream.
We purchased this property with the intent of renting it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why else would we buy a 2-bed, 2-bath condo and not like a townhome?
Right. We would have bought single family for sure if we didn't have this idea. But we were like, how about we just do this first? And this will be a really great way for us to make some additional income. Residual income was always the goal. And so again, like, this has been years in the making. So the fact that we are at this moment is like, oh my gosh. So I'm excited that we get to take you along with us.
Absolutely. If you didn't tune into the last episode, we talked about overcoming money fears.
Yeah.
And we talked about common money fears. So if you want to try to identify with some of those fears and see, what might apply to you, then it's definitely worth a listen, because you got to identify those fears to overcome them.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
All right. So you are KG Millionaire Coach. So you literally live and breathe this. You do this every day.
I do.
As your husband, I have been doing this with you as your partner for the last 12 years. So I definitely have my own opinions and things that I can say. But as the master,
The master.
you are.
Oh, me.
master.
I'm the master.
Yes.
I thought you were saying you're the
You're the
master. And I was like,
guru.
where is this going?
You're the sensei. I'm just the pupil. Teach us
stop it.
how to budget, Kim.
How to create
Teach
a
me
budget.
how to budget.
This
teach
is
me how
the
to
first
budget.
step.
Budget. Budget.
Actually, I kind of lie.
You ain't messing with my budget.
This is not the first step. Okay. So I will say, but this is the whole focus of this is we are going to talk to you step by step. We're going to break it down how to create a budget. Okay. But it's not as simple as creating a budget. I tell people all the time, like, listen, if all you needed was a budget, then everyone would be multimillionaires. There wouldn't be any issues about it, right? If all you needed was a budget, if that's truly all that's the only thing that's holding you back from understanding where your money is going and like being able to save more. If that was it, then 1, why haven't you done it already? 2, why isn't that everyone's not walking around with this one thing that's going to be like, oh, you don't have this budget? And this is the budget. As soon as you touch it or use it, it's it. That's it. You're a multimillionaire. Why isn't everyone walking around with that? Because a budget is not as simple as you think it is. Now, I'm going to contradict myself. It is a simple process once you figure it out and once you've refined it, but it's not so simple to approach. Okay.
Yeah. When I think about the very first time that we tried to create a budget together and we sit down, I mean, it was like a financial summit. It took us
like hours
to do everything that entails in creating a budget. So it is not easy to do at first.
Yeah.
But we literally had a budget meeting today and I think we did it in less than 7 minutes.
Yeah. If anything else, if it was longer than that, it's because we really are excited about discussing something, or we're like, oh, what's our plan for this next month or whatever. It's because we're excited about dreaming about what our next step is. That's the only reason why it takes longer than the 5 minutes it has to take. Like if we're crammed for time, 5 minutes, done. So when we talk about how to create a budget, we're talking about an effective way to manage your finances to ensure that you're meeting all your financial goals. Understand that your goals will change. Understand that, any of these different things that we just mentioned, like managing your finances might change. There's so many variables in this. The most consistent variable in this, I guess, consistent thing in this process is you. You are consistent. If you consistently look, if you consistently refine, if you consistently say something's shifted, I need to make a shift in what's happening with my budget, you will succeed. But if you stop looking at it, if you stop caring about it, then it will unravel and your money will then overtake you. You have to be in control of it. So let's talk about how to create a budget.
Yeah. I mean, look, I know it's not date night, but I'd love to do a little role play with you.
Ooh. Okay.
Can I be like your client?
So stupid.
Can I
do some role play with you?
Yeah. Can I be your client? Can you be KG Millionaire Coach and I'd be your client?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe you could teach me how to create a budget.
Don't do this.
No.
Don't do this.
Can you teach me how to make a budget?
Okay.
All right.
It's
so
only somewhat creepy, but
I don't know.
I will teach you.
You either got like
I will teach
seductive
you to be
Dan or creepy Dan. There's no in between.
Okay.
I'm a weirdo I'm a lover boy. You know what I mean? That's what I am. So All right. So you sit down at your very first meeting and I pop on the call and I'm like, hi, this is really good for people that might want to, check
it's
you
true.
out. Pop
It's
on the
true.
call and I'm like, hi. So, I have a business. I was recently seen on HGTV and you might have saw me on House Hunters. I collect seashells from the beach and I make them into necklaces and I'm looking to buy $1 million home.
Shells? Oh, okay.
Because that's the kind of jobs that you see on HGTV and they're looking for these $1 million homes. So like I just don't know what I'm doing with my seashell business.
Got it. Yeah.
I just don't know where to begin. I don't have a budget. I just
no
collect
idea.
the shells. I knit them together and I put them on people's necks and then I say $5.
Okay. Well, we're mixing a lot of different backgrounds there.
Yes. That's what I do. This is my role play.
Yeah. So you're super successful. What does super successful mean to you?
Well, I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah.
What does successful mean? I mean, I sell seashells and people buy them. So I feel like I'm doing well because a lot of people are buying my seashells and my business is expanding. I opened up my business to 2 different beaches.
Okay. What's your revenue?
What does that mean?
Revenue. I just love this so much because I'm using vernacular that you don't know. How much does your business make in a year? Cash.
I couldn't tell you. I don't really track.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I just
really
know
don't
that like,
give me a guesstimate.
if I had to say, like I sell the shells and then I have money to pay all my bills and then I have some to like eat out. Like I think I'm selling like $95K worth of shells.
A year?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
I'd love to be a 6-figure business.
you are. You're very close. So what I would tell this person who has this hypothetical $95,000 business every single year and wants to be a 6-figure business owner and perhaps own a millionaire home
I would love that.
is I would start with the dream.
Wait, I just thought of a slogan.
What?
It's my mantra. Don't shell yourself short.
That's the name of your business?
Yeah, that's the slogan.
That's the
like
slogan.
Nike, just do it. I haven't thought of my business name yet, but don't shell yourself short.
Got it. Okay.
That was really hard to say, actually. That was like a tongue twister.
Don't sell yourself short. Yes, I would say that is a tongue twister. So one of the things that I would tell my business owners that I work with is I would ask them to think about what is the goal that they have. Like, this is currently where they are. You're making $95K in your business. You're not really sure where your money is going. How would you like to feel? How would you like to be able to approach your business? If you envision yourself as an entrepreneur who's doing this for a long period of time, something that's going to create legacy for your family, I'm assuming, because that's what my clients are looking for when they come to me. They already know that they have this idea. So me saying that isn't like, stepping on your words. But if that's what you envision for yourself, paint that picture for me. What does success look like for you if you continue this business?
Right. So you saw me on HGTV. So I'd like to be able to afford my monthly home payments.
Okay.
Because I did choose option C, which was the most expensive option.
Of course you did.
It was, I don't know, my business I felt like was doing well this year and I deserved it.
Yeah.
I would like both of my children to go to private school.
Okay.
And I would like to purchase a minivan.
Okay. How would you, what do you imagine your days to look like?
I usually start starting like the beginning of my day, like 5:15.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, ideally, do you want your days to start at 5:15?
I want to be able to wake up early when the sun rises, and that's when I find the best shells.
Got it. Okay. Got it. All right. So you envision your days like, being able to wake up, get to work
Yes.
and doing those things. So when you do that, like, what do you envision doing for the rest of your day?
Well, after I gather as many shells as possible that I feel like they speak to me, they spark joy, I go back to the shop and I have to do an intensive cleaning process to make sure that they are at the standard that we do here at Shellway. And
we have a name
that's
now.
the name of the business, Shellway.
Got it.
Have it Shellwell. Shellway. Have it Shellway.
Yes.
Show up and shell out.
Show up and shell out.
Shellway. This is really just popping to me. So,
I'm loving
so there's a
it.
rigorous intensive cleaning process. And then after that, I have some employees who help me put together the product. And then, marketing and
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot.
What's happening to your kids between 5:15 and when you are actually working?
Wifey.
Oh, okay. The wife is taking care of it.
Wifey
Okay.
is taking care of it.
Okay, great. All right. So
she gets them to school.
Okay. So you have your
They're
business.
in public right now, and it's a terrible place.
Okay. So you'd like for them to be in private school. Okay. So your ideal days, like you start off, you are able to work. You said you had employees. Would you like your employees to be the ones who are maybe finding the seashells for you? Maybe if you're away from your business?
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Like if they actually went out and found the shells. I just worry that like the shells speak to me.
Yeah.
And like, will they speak to them in the same way?
Yeah. I mean, you have to find the parts of your business that speak to you, that make you feel like you're a part of the business. So if you doing that makes you feel happy, then absolutely you should continue to do that. I just wanted to help you think about opportunities as your business unfolds and as you start building and creating different locations with your business. You might have the thought of, wow, like everything is running the way it's supposed to. Maybe I can teach someone else how to, find these shells and do the work of putting them together, and I can oversee it as a CEO. And that gives you a little bit more time freedom so that you can be able to, spend more time with your wife if you'd like to, or go on more, vacations if you'd like to. Does that sound something that you like, or are those any of the dreams that you have?
I don't know. Would you like me to spend more time with my wife?
Yes.
Yes. Then that's something that I would love. Well, Kim, all right. End of scene. Like, what do we, what did you just,
how far he was going to go down this?
Hey, you never know.
I was ready for it.
How far I'm going to go.
I was ready for it.
What did you just do here with this client?
So what I love to do with my clients, and what I tell, everyone should start here, is they start dreaming. Notice I didn't really talk about numbers other than the 95K. You gave me a lot of vague. I don't really know how much I'm spending here. I don't really know how much I'm spending there. I'd like to know, I know that's a part of it. And if I stop there, just focus on the numbers, which many people, this is a pitfall that a lot of couples, especially, I see that they start having the conversation with their spouse and they just go straight for the numbers, and you've lost your other spouse. The spouse that does not care about the numbers, the spouse that is over it, they don't care. Okay. You've lost them. And so same thing with my clients. If I start straight with the numbers, I've lost them. They are now feeling that this is a chore and this is really overwhelming and they don't want to do anything about this. Right. So we don't start there, because your money is not really the reason why you're not doing so great with paying bills and stuff like that. It's not the reason why you're confused. It's not the money, it's you, right? It's you, it's your habits, your strategies. So I start with the dreams. I start with, where do you want to go? I start with the end in mind. Where do you want to be able to be with your money, where it feels like you're in perfect synergy, where you're feeling great about your finances? What does that look like for you? What is that millionaire version of you? What are they doing during the day? How are they connected with money? Is the millionaire version of you afraid of money like you are right now? Didn't think so. So if the millionaire version of you is feeling great because money is constantly coming in, is feeling like, wow, this is amazing, and I can go here and I can go there and I can spend my money however I want. If the millionaire version of you is able to hire employees and able to be the CEO, able to go on several weeks on vacation, you need to identify and be super specific about what this version of you looks like and what they are doing in their day. When you start being specific about those topics or those strategies or the details of who you are, what your family is going to look like, what you're going to be doing during the day, it becomes so much clearer to you. And it's easier for me as your coach to come alongside you. Or if you're doing this with your spouse, it's easier for that spouse that maybe has the numbers in mind. When you have the dreamer who's saying, this is what I want to do with my life, and this is where I see us being as a couple, as a family, you can take one of those dreams that they just mentioned and say, wow, this would be really great. And I feel like this is something that's attainable right now. Why are we waiting for a obscene amount of money? Or why are we waiting for that milestone thing to start living our life? Because it might be a little bit before we get there, but it can't happen if we're still living the way we are now with our finances. So take one of those dreams and then go into real time and say, this is an opportunity. I feel like we can make this happen. This is something that's definitely reachable for us, attainable for us. Is this something that we want to start doing? Like, what if we did this next year? Now you got them to the table. Now you got them excited. Now we can say, okay, let's figure out how we can move and guide, because now that's our North Star. Let's guide our money conversation towards this one goal. And then we can start talking about numbers.
You're really good at this.
Babe.
I want to hire you.
Really?
Yeah, I would. Listen, listening to that, even that role play about like someone not knowing their budget, like it takes me back to our first year together. And the very first time that, I was going through our numbers, because we took that Dave Ramsey course, and it was 6 months later, we just got our student loans, the letters were coming in. And I just remember, trying to do calculations, and I was just like, all right, if we make this much every month, and put this much aside, then it's going to take us X amount of years to get this done. And I remember just going hard with the calculations. Like I was calculating all day and night and just running different scenarios. And I remember talking to you about that, and it was just like your eyes glossed over. Like that.
Oh my gosh, that was not it.
So it was just, it's funny to hear you say that, because I'm like, I totally was that guy.
Oh,
like,
and
I brought the numbers to you. I brought the spreadsheets to you. I was like, let's do it this, da 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 da. And you were just like, yeah, that's, I'm right there with you, babe. Like I want this for you. I want to do it with you. But like, I
don't care.
We got to do this. You got to explain this to me a different way.
And maybe that's why I have an affinity, or like I like doing this, because I am the dreamer. I am the spender. I do like nice things. I do like bougie things. And I want to go places. That's my guidepost, right? So whenever we had conversations, I was like, how soon can we get to that? Tell me what I got to do to get there. And I think I align with that with my clients, because a lot of them are like, I just want to get to this feeling. I just want to get here. And I'm like, yo, same, let's go.
And it was the dreaming. It was okay. Right now we have like $1,000 student loan payment every single month, but just imagine with me, or maybe you said it to me, imagine with me, Daniel, like if we didn't have this student loan payment, that's $1,000 every single month that we could use towards clothes, or to dates, or to vacations, or to like, we no longer owe somebody.
Right.
Like our money is our money, and we get to direct it and tell it to do whatever we want it to do.
Yeah.
And that
got me excited. That got me excited, because I was like, wait, I have control, right, over my money. I can do what I want to do. Within reason, of course, but like that was.
Speak to the dreams.
But speak to the dreams. I think that's the guidepost for yourself. If you're doing this on your own, if spouse doesn't want to be involved, which I'm like, we've already talked plenty about communicating with your spouse and why it's important for both people to be at the table. But we understand that might not happen for a little bit. You might be rolling this for, solo for a little bit until they start getting, oh, this is actually happening, right? I've had plenty of clients who do that. So it is important for you to recognize your dream. So before you talk about numbers, before you do that, I want you to think about and dream about and write down and do a vision board, whatever it happens for you to dream. What is this life going to look like for you? Bonus points. Okay, because we're getting really down into nitty gritty. If you love the dreaming part and you're like, I want to be able to go into a store and I want to be able to buy a purse. How much is that purse? Tell me. Go online, find that purse that you were just like drooling over, that you would like to just walk in and buy, and do like what's it called, that chicken pretty woman, and she just goes in and she goes, I want it, and then she's like, big mistake, huge, like that. Like if that's the type of scene you want to take, you want to do, go online and find that purse that you think you want to buy and write down how much it is, right? And I want you to write down in full, like reckless abandon, and being like, I want to spend $1,200 on a purse. I want to be able to go on vacation, and at least go, for me, it's like, I want to go to Disney 2 times or 3 times a year. Once for just me and Hubs, 2 for the kids, right? Like write it all down. How much does it cost? Like really do a cost analysis on all of these things. Dream big, okay? And then once you have that big dream written down and you know how much it's going to be, that really allows you to think, okay, maybe that's not as much as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like this millionaire lifestyle was going to be like, I was going to be spending thousands and thousands and thousands every single month. But honestly, it's not that bad. The other thing that might happen is you'll go, I'm actually closer. If I just got rid of this, oh my gosh, this is the only thing that's in the way. If I got rid of this debt, oh my God, I would have my savings. I would have this. I would have that. I could be there at that goal in faster than I recognize. And then again, like that's when you get excited because you recognize that you are so close to your dream and you didn't even recognize it because you didn't look at it. You're too afraid of being in the present, and like you're too afraid of like, oh my gosh, my current situation, and I can't see past what's in front of me. And I think that's the beautiful thing about what I do when I'm coaching, is that I'm able to help them see through the trees and go, look over there. Isn't that what you wanted? That's what you said you want. It's not that far. We just got to get on the boat and go. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, I've never ever thought about it this way. And I'm so much closer than I recognize. And it just gets them really excited.
I think that was the cool thing for us as we were dreaming. It was like, we wanted to have all these expenses. We wanted to spend money on things. And it really turned out like what we wanted to spend money on really wasn't that much more or even near how much our debt was or our loans were. It was like, oh, we wouldn't even spend $1,000 a month, So like paying off that debt and opening up your cash flow allowed us to live the lifestyle that we wanted to live.
I mean, we did a lot of stuff.
But it all starts with the budget.
With the dream.
With the dream.
Before you get to the budget, you have to dream, have a goal, have a plan. And then you go to the budget. So here's the long overdue. No, I'm just joking. That's a super important step. Okay. So do not go to Google and start looking for random budgets or go to the apps and try to find random budgets until you have done a very deep analysis on what is your dream.
Because there's a lot of psychology with money, right? There's a lot of it is a mental game. There's a lot of motivation to it. It's a
lot of discipline.
Yeah, if you don't buy in episode 8, motivation versus discipline, if you don't buy in to the dream, then it's just like the gym. Like you're not going to be disciplined. You're not going to go. You're not going to lose weight. You're not going to save money. It's just not going to happen. It's really got to be something that you build into your psyche. It needs to be a habit. And that's that.
That's really all it is.
All right. So we've dreamed. The next thing that would you say, would you ask them about their income?
Absolutely.
You definitely asked me about my income for my Shellway business. So you have to determine your income. And I wasn't really sure how to do that, but you have to add up all the sources of your income. That's your salary, your freelance work, any other sources of income. Like you need to know every single dollar that's coming in to your bank account.
Exactly. One of the things that I have my clients do is an analysis of the last 30 days, right? So the last 30 days of your spending. So I had a client who's like, oh, I get paid once a month. And so I would like to go from the time that I got paid to the next time I got paid. Cool. Go for it. Right. But like it needs to be a 30-day period because that's normally the period of when like all of your bills come through, and we need to know where the money is going, right? So before we can tell it where to go, we have to know where it's been. So I always talk about the last 30 days and track it and categorize it. I know that it's like, seriously? Yes, absolutely. Yep. And this is a super eye-opening exercise for every one of my clients because they realize one of two things. They had no idea. They know the category that they overspend in. Oh, I spend way too much in food. Okay. Do you know the number? The number is really what's powerful here. So like if you're able to categorize it into different spaces, so like food, groceries, utilities, rent, mortgage, it could be another category. I try not to overcomplicate it with the amount of categories. I try to keep it simple. But what's going to happen is you're going to start recognizing as you see these categories start to grow over the course of the 30 days that you're spending, you're going to be like, oh, I did that again. Oh, I totally didn't recognize I did that. Oh my gosh, I went there like 4 different times. Oh my, like you're going to have all of these like aha moments that are going to happen. And you're going to be like so surprised at some of the habits you didn't even recognize were there. And the other thing that's going to happen is you're either going to be there or you're going to recognize, oh my goodness, I have some of my spending here, but some of my spending's on a credit card and then that other credit card and then that other credit card. And as you go down these different avenues of like, I have to track 5 different sources of where I've spent my money because I use all these different sources, that's going to be an eye opener for you as well. Because if you have to use 5 different sources to make sure that your life is afloat, there's a problem there. That should be a really big like red flag, red flag. Why are we doing this? What's the purpose here?
Yeah.
How did we get to 5 different credit cards and 1 debit card to make sure that your life is intact?
Yeah, I want to take a step back because we started jumping into expenses there, which
Yeah,
is fine
they both
because that's
go
where we're
together.
going. They go hand in hand, right? But you need to track your income. And I think that's a powerful thing to do. If you're someone like me, you have a set income.
Right.
Every 2 weeks, I'm getting the same exact paycheck every single time. So I know exactly what my number is going to be at the end of the month. I don't have high months and low months. I just have months. They're all the same, right? That's a set salary. Your income is not the same as that.
No.
Right? Your income fluctuates. You have weeks where the number is way up. You have weeks where the number is way down, weeks where the number is non-existent. You know what I mean? And it's important to track that income month to month so that you know how much you bring in on average every month.
But here's the thing about business owners, right? Because this is who I mainly work with. They don't pay themselves on a consistent basis. They only pay themselves what they need to pay for their bills. And so many times my clients might be bringing in a really good amount of money every single month in their sales. But when they do this, like determining their income and tracking their expenses, which do go together, if you're a salaried person, even doing the 30-day exercise that I mentioned, you will see, oh, I got paid. Oh, I got paid, right? And so you'll start seeing the parts where you like deposited money and you can put it in a different category for income. But even in the business realm, right? You can still do this activity and go, okay, where has my money gone in the last 30 days? Do it into different categories. And then as you do this for 30 days, you're going to see the parts where you deposited money into your personal account. And I guarantee you, for most clients, they are only giving the money that they actually need to pay for their bills. They might have made $15,000 in actual cash in their business and only paid themselves the $2,000-$3,000 that they needed to take care of expenses. And that is a problem because there's $12,000 more dollars. Where is it going? And that is the issue with entrepreneurs. So even doing that, that's eye-opening because they'll recognize, wait, hold on, I made $15,000 in cash this month and I only paid myself $3,000.
Right.
What? Like, what? And that's when the light bulbs start to go off. And I'm like, is this really a successful business? If you were working for a CEO and they said, hey, I want you to do this, and you made them $15,000 and they only paid you that much, would you be okay with that? No. You would be like, excuse me? I worked really hard. I should be getting paid more than that. I gave you all of these sales. I expect 50%, you know? So it's a eye-opening exercise to do that for entrepreneurs as well as people who are salaried.
Absolutely. So you have to track your income because at the end of your budget, it all adds up to being an equation, right? It's going to be line A, which is your income, take away line B, which is your expenses, and you end up with line C, which is how much you have left over, right? And it's a powerful tool to know your income because in business, it's nice to know what your months are going to look like, right? For example, if you're in the car industry and you sell automobiles, right? If you have tracked your income over the years, month to month to month, you're going to realize some months I sell way more cars than other months, right? Months like January and February, there's going to be a lull in the car industry. Like not a lot of people are buying cars in January and February. Why? Because they bought a crap ton at like the December to remember events and the end of the year events. Seriously. And there are months when your business is going to boom and there's going to be months. I think when you were doing LuLaRoe, was it the J months were like great?
Everybody said the J months were awful.
Or awful.
Yeah,
Okay.
January, June. It was just January and June, right? Yeah.
July.
Months. Oh, in July, yeah. The summers were awful.
In September.
Yeah.
No, but if you know going into a January, whether you're LuLaRoe or your car, industry, like if you know that's going to be a low month, then you can plan and prepare for that month. You're like, wow, December was so great. I sold so much, but I know I'm about to go into a drought.
Literally.
Let me put some aside for the basic bills for those months.
Yep.
So that way I'm prepared. So you have to know your income and track that income because that's going to give you qualitative data.
Right. Not only that, it's going to give you space, right? You cannot complain and say J months are going to overtake my business. I used to hate when people would say that. Oh my gosh, the J months are coming. The J months are coming. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing right now to prepare for it? What are you doing right now to make sure that you put money aside so that when the basic bills come in, you're able to say, oh, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to be a slower month, but I already had my month's worth of bills ready to go, paid up and saved up, and I can just chill. Like, I'm still going to sell, I'm going to do my thing, but I'm not going to fret if this month is a lower month. I knew it was going to happen. Like that is, to me, is a consistent and like even keeled entrepreneur to be able to do that.
Yeah, no,
most don't do that.
Shellway had a shell shortage at one point, so we sold sand art. That's what we did. That's how we got through the J months.
I love that. I love that.
All right. So we've talked a bit about tracking your income and your expenses, right? Write down all of your expenses, your bills, your groceries, transportation, entertainment, any expenses that incur. It's essential to have a good understanding of how much money you're spending.
Exactly. And then after, we talked about categorizing and setting your financial goals, right? So this is kind of something that we do beforehand, right? So I said that that's how you kind of get a feel and an understanding as to where your money normally goes and what your habits and like tendencies are. As you start looking through this list, what I love to tell my clients to do is to go through and highlight the things that you'd love to keep, the things that you're like, oh, I would hate to get rid of this, because guess what? Your budget, whatever you want to call it, but I'm just going to lay it out. It's a budget. Okay. Like whether you call it a prosperity plan, whether you call it the sexy wealth building, I don't care. It's a budget. Okay. However you want to call it, name it whatever you want. But you need to highlight the things that make you feel good when you look at your money. So you're like, you know what? The things that are highest priority are savings. That's super high for me. So like, I'm going to write down that I want to do savings. In that categories that I wrote down, I'm going to highlight that I really love going. Like I had a client who loves Chick-fil-A. I'm like, go for it, girl. If you really want to go to Chick-fil-A, twice a month, go for it. Right?
Frosted coffee.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Right? But if that's what you want to do, highlight it and we'll put it in the budget. I'm not saying that you have to stop doing everything. I want your money management system to highlight the things that are highest priority to you. If you like to go to Starbucks, if you like to go get out to get clothing for your kids or whatever, if those are whatever is highest priority, highlight it. Whatever can go, or you're like, I don't really need this, or it's not as highest priority, that's when you can start cutting subscriptions. That's when you can start saying, I don't really need this. And you can start building your financial goals, right? So now you have like a new understanding of like, this is my baseline. My baseline is all the bills that need to get paid, some of the wants that I would like to have in my budget. And, my goal is to be able to save X amount every single month. And it's already like written in. So when you have that baseline, you're always winning. You're taking care of your personal, like immediate needs or immediate wants. You're also taking care of all the important things about the four walls and the roof of your head. And you're taking care of, the future you. Baseline. Once you have that baseline data, you might find that you're like, whoa, I have even more left over, which is exciting. And so that's when you can start with like some of your goals. Hey guys, this is Kim Graham, co-host of the Affluent Marriage Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed your episode so far. And I know that you're like, wait, hold on, there's more here. And there is. It's in the next episode. We hope that you guys are going to join us over there. And in the meantime, if you're waiting, join us on Instagram at the Affluent Marriage Pod, because we'd love to connect with you, converse with you. We want you guys to message us, see how you're doing and how you're enjoying the podcast. We want to hear all of those things, and we cannot wait to help you live in love and walk in wealth in the next episode. See you guys soon.